I wanted to say a few words about my new book, Behavioural Iridology: How Our Body, Personality and True Nature is Revealed Through the Eyes. Very briefly, the book is broken down into 5 parts. Part 1 introduces the reader to the concept of the holographic universe, as well as some ancient and traditional element-based medicine systems. These will be especially useful later on in the book, when we look at some of the connections between eye colour and personality types. In the second part of the book, I relate my introduction to this system and how I first came across behavioural iridology. The third part of the book asks the question, is the iris more than the sum of its parts? I also assess how much the iris might change due to various factors, and introduce the reader to some additional healing practices that also use the human eye as a diagnostic tool. In part 4, we look at the fundamentals of behavioural iridology, that is to say its 2 primary constitutional types. These 2 are the feeling emotional and the thinking analytical type. This part of the book represents the most detailed analysis of the behavioural system and goes into some detail to help you identify these 2 constitutional types. After we've established our 2 constitutional types, in part 5 we look at modifiers. Modifiers are those elements left over in the iris which don't help us to identify a constitutional type, but they nonetheless have an effect on the way that we interpret the iris. Various types of modifiers in the iris include the colour of the iris, the expression ring, sometimes referred to as the collarette or ANW, 6 important and easily identifiable iris rings, and finally individual iris positions. In part 6, we look at the concept of building and dissolving. This primarily relates to the left and the right iris and how we interpret structure and colour in the left and the right iris. We also look at the behavioural iridology iris map, how we use it, and what we look out for when we're beginning iris analysis. The remainder of part 6 is fully given over to these 29 iris positions. This section is perhaps the longest in the book. Finally, for the benefit of readers, I've included a number of appendices. Appendix 1 is a general overview of iris anatomy, which is quite useful. Appendix 2, we cover some aspects of digital iris photography. In Appendix 3, we look at the concept of solid and hollow organs in the body. I've called Appendix 4 the Iris Map Gallery. This is a curated collection of both historical and modern iris maps used by different iridologists. Additionally, this segment includes a variety of alternative behavioural maps, again from different iridology authors. Appendix 5 is called Different Approaches to Iris Analysis. In this last appendix, we look at how we might determine iris personality based on 1 or 2 methods. Firstly, a rather detailed and systematic approach, and secondly, a more freestyle approach. Using one or other of these interpretive methods, we apply them to the 5 iris slides in this section. For those who want more information about behavioural iridology, how our body, personality and true nature is revealed through the eyes, please visit the Aeon website with the information presented in this slide.